We recently spent a day with iGEMS, working with future engineers on something we don't always teach enough: how to think. Not just technical skills, but critical thinking, communication, awareness. Because the reality is, the world these students are walking into is noisy. There's information everywhere, opinions everywhere. Not all of it is true. So we focused on a few simple ideas. Your brain looks for patterns, even when they're not there. It responds to emotion before logic. And the way you ask a question can completely change how someone thinks. We showed them how content out there is designed to pull you in. Curiosity, surprise, emotion. It works because it understands how your brain works. So the goal wasn't just to teach them how to communicate better, it was to help them think for themselves, to pause, to question, to not just accept something because it sounds convincing. Because in engineering, and in life, how you think matters more than what you know. And if we can build better thinkers, we build better engineers. What did you learn today?
Today was a lot about thinking and how we think. There were topics like ego and how you make yourself want to feel right. And we did about critical thinking. Businesses can, like, in a way, manipulate you to be interested in the product, and how not to be manipulated by the things that they use.
Now that you understand critical thinking a bit better, what is something that you'll do differently going forward?
I think in future I will probably stop and actually look at something and analyze, rather than just jumping straight into it or jumping to conclusions, but actually look at the information and try and decide what's the better option for me.
What surprised you about yourself during today's activity?
I didn't know that I was a very outspoken person. I always see myself as someone that's to themselves and in their shell, but then during our debating session that we had, I found out that when I actually look at both sides of a topic, I can actually critically think and then articulate my thoughts well. So that was something that really surprised me today.
Was there a moment today that made you realize you're not actually as objective as you thought you might be?
Yes, there was. When we were debating hard work versus opportunities, I'm a very firm believer that if you work hard, you'll get to where you need to be. So I was very much on that side. And then when they were making their points, I wasn't actually taking their points into consideration. I was so steadfast on my opinion, and then when it did click to me, I was like, I need to be more open-minded. I need to think about what they're saying as well and take it into consideration.
And that's what iGEMS is about. Not just building skills, but building thinkers. Because when you understand how to think, you don't just follow the world, you improve it.